Welcome to day 6. This one is called Works Like Magic. I am sitting in the garden again today, but it actually seems a bit quieter. There's less traffic and light aircraft overhead, but it is a Sunday, so maybe that's the main reason. So as I said, today is day 6, Works Like Magic. For this one, keep in mind the wheel of life that we modified right at the very beginning for work. So remember when we changed all the categories from family, social life and health to things like salary, people we work with, where did we rate ourselves out of 10 on our day-to-day tasks, give back, and how was our work-life balance. If you have it to hand, it will help with today, but if not, just keep in mind where you saw the spokes sticking out on your wheel whilst you listen to today's practice. The quote of the day is by a Tom Robbins who clearly loved his job. That's why he wrote a quote like this. If you take any activity, any art, any discipline, any skill, take it and push it as far as it will go, push it beyond where it has ever been before, push it to the wildest edges of edges, then you force it into the realms of magic. So here we go for today. How can it be that a person who is born into total poverty, starts out with nothing and has very little education, goes on to become a president or a celebrity or builds an empire and becomes one of the wealthiest people in the world? And how is it that two people can start out in the same career at the same time, and yet one person's career goes from success to even greater success, whilst the other person works himself or herself into the ground with little success no matter how hard they try? The missing link, of course, is gratitude. To bring success or increase the good things in your job or work, like opportunities, promotions, money, brilliant ideas, inspirations and appreciation, it is essential to be grateful for your job or work. The more gratitude you have, the more you will have to be grateful for. And you should be getting the idea by now that to increase anything in your life, you have to be grateful for what you already have. And we go back to the very, very, very first quote from the scripture that says, "Whoever has gratitude for their work will be given more, and he or she will have an abundance. Whoever does not have gratitude for their work, even what he or she has will be taken from him or her." When you are grateful for your job, you will automatically give more to your work. And when you give more to your work, you will increase the money and success that is returned to you. If you are not grateful for your job, you will automatically give less. When you give less, you decrease what comes back to you, and as a result, you will never be happy in your work. You will never give more than you have to, and your job or work will stagnate and eventually deteriorate, which could mean losing your job. Remember, for those who do not have gratitude, even what they have will be taken from them. The amount you give in gratitude is exactly proportional to the amount you receive in return. You control the amount you receive by the amount of gratitude you give. So the next bit goes into sort of the different types of job you have, like you could be a business owner or a stay-at-home parent, which I know doesn't apply to us as we're all employees of a large corporate organisation, but I'll still read them as parts may resonate with you. Many of you could argue that you have two jobs anyway, because you're either leading a service line as well as a client exec role, or you're a parent who juggled homeschooling with a full-time job back in the pandemic, or you've done all three of those things, like I know many of you have. She says, if you're a parent and your work is taking care of your children and managing your home, look for the things to be grateful for at this time in your life. It is often a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and when you can be grateful for this time, you will attract more support, more help, more beautiful moments and more happiness to the experience. If you are a business owner, your business's value will increase or decrease according to your gratitude. The more grateful you are for your business, your customers and your employees, the more the business will grow and increase. It is when business owners stop being grateful and replace gratitude with worry that their businesses spiral downwards. You should love your job. I love my job. No, I genuinely mean that. I really do. And I hope you do too. So you should love your job, whatever it is, and be excited about going to work. And you shouldn't settle for anything less. If you don't feel that way about your current job, or if it's not your dream job, the way to receive your dream job is by first being grateful for the job you have. So now we're getting down to the business end of the day and to the practice. So today, imagine that you have an invisible manager. Some of you might say you already have, but that's not true for me. Imagine that you have an invisible manager whose job it is to keep a record of the thoughts and feelings you have about your job. Imagine that your manager will follow you wherever you go today, poised with a pen and notebook in hand. Every time you find something about your job to be grateful for, your manager will make a note of it. Your job is to find as many things as you can to be grateful for, so at the end of the day your manager has a long list of all your gratitude. Think about all the things you could be grateful for in your work. To begin with, think about the fact that you actually have a job. Think about how many people are unemployed right now who would give anything to have a job. Think about the time-saving equipment you use, such as phones, printers, the internet, and computers. Think about the people you work with and the friendships that you have with them. Think about the people who make your job easier, such as receptionists, assistants, cleaners, and delivery people. Think about how good it feels when you receive your salary, and think about the favourite aspects of your job that you love doing. Have your invisible manager make a note each time you find something you're grateful for by saying, "I am so grateful for what?" And you describe what it is you're grateful for. It is possible that you could generate so much gratitude for your work in one day that you would see the circumstances instantly improve. Lucky breaks don't happen by accident. That is so true. So if this works like magic practice falls on a weekend, like it does for me, because as I said, it is a Sunday, and I'm sitting in the garden, so it does fall on a weekend, but if it does and you're not at work, move on to the next day's practice or practices, and then go back and use this magical practice on the first day you're back at work. So to summarise day 6, we have woken up hopefully today and counted our blessings, making a list of 10 blessings and why we're grateful. While at work, we are imagining that we have an invisible manager following us around, taking notes every time we find something to be grateful for, by saying, "I'm so grateful for what?" and feel as grateful as you can. And then just before you go to bed tonight, you hold your magic rock and you say the magic words, "Thank you for the best thing that happened during the day." So think carefully through all the different things, because you've been at work all day. So there might be many, many things that you can think of to be the best thing. Maybe you actually did connect with your real manager and something amazing happened. Well, let me know. All right, see you again. Bye. Well, it's a few hours later after I recorded that at home, and as you can probably tell, I am out on my own walk right now on a Sunday afternoon. It's absolutely roasting. I'm out of breath because I've just sat down at the top of a hill, and but it's really quite breezy as well, so you might not be able to hear this, but I won't know until I get back, I guess, whether you can or not. But anyway, the reason I thought I would carry this on is because I am sitting in this field looking down over what last week were really green fields, and now, due to the hot weather recently, they look so burnt and barren. I've literally just taken a photo, which I will put on the picture later, which shows the burnt fields, and you'll also see that there's a combine harvester in the distance. So seeing these guys working so hard on a Sunday has just literally made me think about the work practice I was talking about earlier, because I already know the kind of things that I'm grateful for in my own job when I go into it, because they're things like flexibility, being able to work at home. I'm thankful I earn more than the minimum wage. I love the account that I'm on and the client that I work with. The people I work with are amazing, and over the years I've met some amazing people, so many lovely people, which I'm grateful for. Because if I worked for myself, it would just be me talking to myself all day, which I know is what I've been doing on here for the last week or so, but you know what I mean. The list can go on and on about what I'm truly grateful for, and I guess we've all got similar experiences of what we're going to write down. But sitting here, looking at the farmers out in the field below, it's just got me thinking about all the other types of jobs there are out there and how different they are to ours. It's a Sunday, and these poor guys are having to work on a Sunday because they've spent probably all year growing these crops, and then have a little bit of hot weather like we have done now, and they're at risk of losing everything. They've had to come out at short notice, regardless whether it's a weekend, to try and save what they can. Just absolutely baffles me. I mean, when we have a bad day, it'll be things like losing a spreadsheet, or we've had to get up early to catch a train somewhere. And yet when they have a bad day, they could be about to lose their whole livelihood. It's amazing. It just got me thinking. I thought I'm going to have to stop at the top of the hill and say all of this before I get home. Anyway, like I say, that's all I wanted to talk to you about, and tell you what I was thinking, and to say that, I'm so grateful for the job that I have. I hope by the end of the day, you will be too. See you tomorrow.